Hi, everybody. This is the public access team. We're here. We're going to just discuss today. We have our panel here. We have Vu, Chur, Yang, myself, Sir, Fuji, and then Kumo here. We just want to talk about the Car Parks and Wildlife. They just released a brand new Big Game 2020 brochure digitally. It'll be in stores soon, but it's released digitally. And there's some major changes that will affect everybody's hunting. And so we just want to talk about that a little bit. Let's first talk about leftover tags. So they have gotten rid of the leftover draw. So no more waiting at Walmart at 2 in the morning and waiting until 9 o'clock for them to open. No more crashing the websites at 9 a.m. But now what they've done is they've replaced it with a secondary big game draw. So after you apply for your primary draw, which is April 7th, which we've always done, right? If you're drawing for preference points, you're trying to draw for a limited draw unit. You're going to draw for those tags, and then any tag that's not drawn, they're going to put it back into this pool for a secondary draw. And the secondary draw takes place on July 7th at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And everybody's available. Everyone can access this. Everyone can draw for the secondary draw, even if you were successful during the first draw. And so this kind of changes things up. You do still have to pay a $7 resident or $9 non-resident fee for this tag. So for the draw. So if you pay for the primary $7 and $9, you still have to pay for the secondary draw $7 or $9 for the secondary draw. And then any tag that's not available or that wasn't drawn through the first and second draw will be funneled into leftover draws that you can go to the store and pick it up. And so with that being said, and it doesn't have to do with preference points as well. So you can't earn any preference points. You can't use preference points on the secondary draw, and you won't lose any preference points on this as well.
So you don't lose any on the first draw either?
No,
You do.
If you
draw the first one,
yeah.
first draw is normal.
Yep.
So if you don't draw, then you still gain a point like normal.
Yep, you still gain a point like normal.
But you can't draw. You can't get a point if you don't draw the second time.
Yeah, you can't get a point if you don't draw a second time.
So technically, you're not getting double points.
You're not getting double
Right.
points.
You're just donating.
Yeah, you're just
You're just donating.
yeah.
You're donating to Colorado, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. What's wrong with that?
So this is kind of just a brief overview of their new leftover system. So open to the panel. What you guys thoughts?
Well, we definitely accepted donations. Colorado needs it.
Yeah, it's not really a donation. It's like
I
giving
mean,
to the
it's definitely gonna help. It's gonna
It's
help
the
us.
processing
Yeah,
fee.
yeah.
but it is a way for Colorado to kind of find more funds because every state's struggling in finding fundings to help out with.
Right. So I guess what happened before, like before if you drew for, say you apply for an elk tag for a unit, and then if you didn't get it, then what happens now? Because before you didn't get it, it goes to your second choice, third choice,
You get four
fourth
options.
choice.
Yeah, you get four options.
And then, right, if you don't get any of those, then you get your refund, or you go into the over the counter or the leftover tag.
Well, remember, there is no refund. You're paying
Right.
that $7.
It's just $7 or $9. It's not like what it was a couple years ago.
Right.
So you can still draw for it for first, second, third, fourth. But if you don't get any of those tags, you get the secondary draw.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Does
You
it
get
roll
the
your
first-
$7 rolls into that
No,
second?
you have to pay.
No,
You have to pay another
additional.
$7. Yep.
So it's additional to that.
Yeah, so it's just the same thing as before. So you get first, second, third, fourth choices.
Options.
And then if you don't draw any of those choices, you instead of those tags going to leftovers where you have to go to the store
Right.
and wait, now you have to put in for the secondary draw, and then they're going to draw again for those. And that information will be released on March, let's see if I have it here. I think like March 3rd or something like that. Or no, not March, May. Sometime in May or June, I believe they're going to release all that information of what's left over, and then you can put in for that secondary draw. Oh, June 5th. So June 5th,
Right.
all that
That's the
information will be released on what's left over.
So that goes from June 5th to July 7th. It's
Yep.
the second application draw for
Yep.
your second option.
Yep. So I don't think it matters. I think if you put in your application on June 5th, your odds are higher than someone that on July 7th.
Yeah. It's
It's just
going
going to go random pool.
Yeah.
So So you don't necessarily need to hurry, but I
Yeah.
guess if you get out of the way early, you don't have to worry about it.
It's just so you don't forget.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so you
Right.
don't
So the
forget.
draw, that second draw actually happens on July 7th. Then.
On July 7th at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And it doesn't require preference points. It doesn't
Yep.
use them.
Yep.
It's just
Yep. So you can put in for
secondary
preference
draw.
points.
So I guess so during that second draw, then is it everybody who puts in is at 0 points? Like
Yeah, it's
technically,
zero. It's
everybody's
all
fine.
random. It's
Yeah,
just
right, okay.
random.
Everybody's
Which
So-
is
same
makes it
point.
nice.
So if like
But
three
it's
of us put in for our unit, let's do 63 random unit,
Yeah.
right? And
That'd be good for group draws too.
y-
Yeah.
I don't
Are
know.
you allowed to group
I don't know if
draws?
you're allowed to do
I
group
don't think
draws.
so.
They
Well,
didn't
if they
really
keep it the-
address it.
If they
in
keep
here.
it the same, you know, it's
Yeah.
pretty much who's the hunting.
Yeah.
leader.
I don't know who. I don't know if
I
they
would think they
group
would
draw.
allow it.
The-
If it's the same as the primary draw and secondary draw, you could probably still draw as a group.
Yeah.
But
And then just
that- it's
everybody's
harder.
at 0.
It's just gonna be hard to draw as a group
Yeah.
because it goes off.
Yeah.
It goes off
Yeah.
the group.
Because if there's only
Okay.
like 6 tags available and 30 people draw, and you draw as a group of 5, there's not gonna be all 5.
Well, yeah. Everyone's at 0 points, so I don't know. I don't know how group draw works. They don't say that anywhere in the brochure.
Yeah.
By the way, we are gonna have the link to the brochure
Description
in
below.
the description below. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, do you guys like this idea more than you guys like going to the store earlier? Or do you guys still wish they kept it the same? I know people kept complaining about the system crashing.
Right.
This is probably the biggest effect of them going, okay, how do we prevent our system from crashing?
Especially for out-of-state residents. that
Yeah,
deal with it.
non-residents, yeah, they hate it.
Yeah.
I think I like the general idea because you're not all sitting there at your computer waiting for the
refresh
clock to
button.
hit
Yeah.
right when it opens and you're just like tapping and everybody else is hitting it on the internet or you're waiting in a long line
Yeah.
trying to buy it. It seems like it's a little bit more it's a little easier because you just put in like, hey, I want in on this draw, and it's not based on the speed of your internet or whatever
Yeah,
the case
yeah.
may be. Or
I mean, last year Kumo had a tag in the cart, and then when he went to go pay for it and process it,
He's
he,
like-
he lost the tag,
yeah.
right?
Just ask too many questions.
Yeah, and so the
Like,
process.
do you want this mail?
Yeah,
Just mail it, or do you want to pick it up?
and last year I sat at Walmart. I got there like 4:30 or something like that a.m. And like there was already 3 people in line ahead of me, and by 9 a.m. all the tags I was going for, and I was going for 4 different tags, were all sold out. So, but
yeah,
Here's the thing. It says there's no more leftover draw where you go wait in line and stuff, but there's still a date when the leftover comes out. And when that date comes out, people are still gonna wait in line
Yeah.
because their tag they want.
Yep.
So technically, they say there's no draw left, but there's still
there's
is
still
gonna be a
technically draw. Yeah. So what Kumo's saying is like after your primary draw and your secondary draw, if somehow your tag is still available, it goes into a leftover that you can pick up at the store, and that's available August 4th at 9 a.m. And so if somehow your tag is still there and somehow you didn't draw it, you can still go to the store and get that tag
Or online.
or online.
Yep, for you non-residents.
On August 4th. But yeah, odds are though, if you really want that tag, I don't know how it goes through all that filtration system and still available unless no one just really wanted it or
Right.
they didn't pay for it.
yeah. Because I know some units commonly has in the prior way to draw had like hundreds and thousands of leftover
Yeah.
tags.
Yeah.
And so I can see some of those units, if they're still issuing the same amount of tags for those units,
Yeah.
I can see those units having
Being
making
the one
it- yeah,
available.
making it all the way to August.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a few of those. And we'll talk about over the counter here pretty soon, too. But yeah, I mean, with the over the counter options, people are there's still a lot of access to hunting that anybody can do.
So is this for all seasons or is it just for rifle or archery?
It's for all seasons.
Yeah, all
So
tags.
if you're doing any big game hunting, this goes for that. So other than moose, I think antelope or moose, bighorn sheep, the special draw tags. But I think it's black bear,
Antelope,
antelope,
deer.
Mule
deer,
deer,
and
whitetail,
and
elk.
Wait, what about turkey?
Turkeys
They'll
over
probably
every
yeah,
turkey.
I think turkeys remain the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
So
Spring
yeah,
and fall.
This so the unit we hunt, the deer tag,
yeah,
this might actually be
it might be a good
a good
thing
thing for
us.
me.
Yeah, it might be a good thing for you. Yeah,
because I drew the tag 2019 with 3 points for a buck tag. I shot a little buck, but I want to try to put in for it. My plan was put in for points this year, but then if there's leftovers, I'm gonna go ahead and put in for it. But I don't.
For the second draw.
For the
if
second
there
draw,
are,
if there
yeah,
are some,
there are.
like
Which-
if there's there's
which
guys that
sometimes are.
the guys who draw for it and then they don't pay for it online, or they draw for it, or they and then they back out and it comes back. I guess you could call it back
Yeah.
on the market.
Yeah.
And so it'll be available for that second draw. So I
But
might have a
you're-
good chance, right?
Your second chance is just as slim as
Right.
getting the
Yeah.
leftover.
Because
draw.
everybody has the same
Just like
list.
how
and
we
everybody's
fight
like,
on it online,
Right.
your chances is just as slim.
I think it's intriguing though because there's no preference points going into it. So like,
That's what I'm
how about
saying,
those
yeah.
trophy units? Like Unit 2 or
Yeah.
201
Right.
or Unit 1 or 10?
Again,
Those units, like,
your chances are
But-
just
Yeah.
as slim.
Yeah.
No, but
But-
those chances
no.
are probably not gonna have
But
that
then,
much
but
issues
then-
on tags, though.
No, those
because before we had zero chance.
Yeah, with 201 and those, they go to the next person in line.
Oh, and yeah, with
So-
those.
So I doubt
okay.
you're gonna get
Points.
anything for
So
that.
it doesn't
apply
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what if they don't pay for the
Then
tag?
it
They
just
still-
go to the
yeah,
next one.
we'll go
This
to
probably
the
just
next
gives you
one.
the
Yeah, I
next
think-
There's too many
people.
polls in there.
Yeah.
Too many people.
Because
Yeah.
I think like 2 and 201's up to like 26 points
Yeah, it's a lot.
just to draw for that
It's
unit.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
And there are
so
people with 29, 30
yeah,
points
30
that
points that haven't
yeah.
drawn for those units yet. So,
And by the time we
Think
get it,
about
it'll be
this.
overtaken by wolves.
yeah.
Wait, is it?
Hey, I'm okay with the wolves.
So is
I
that
want-
just
Yep.
for those prime units, or does that happen? Let's say for, a unit close by. Let's say I don't know, like 38, right? Because it's right by next to Boulder.
I believe it applies only to
The
like
trophy
the
units.
high preference
Yeah.
points.
Okay.
The ones that are, yeah.
So
considered trophy.
201,
trophy.
1, 2, and I think
10.
it's what 67.
10, 67,
10, yeah.
1. Yeah, there's a few trophy
207,
units that
201.
by the time we draw it, we're going to be
Hey
like.
man, I had my Unit 1 bear tag last year.
Yeah.
You didn't use
yeah.
Technically.
Yeah,
You didn't
technically
use
he
it.
drew.
Technically, he just donated.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
that
was-
donated.
yeah,
Yeah,
for the
he didn't
donation.
even use it.
Dude, but if you guys look about this, you know how you guys talking about those high license point ones where if you draw, you don't get it. Second people do their second one, and they still don't get it. And you go over the counter. I would just wait for over the counter, and you save the $7 because you have to pay for the processing.
Well,
But
but
that's
then,
if you don't have a preference
but then
point.
you're fighting
But
in
there's
line.
always
Yeah.
gonna be over. Like you said, sometimes there's hundreds of tags. Right? You're
Right.
never gonna sell
for some
out the-
units,
yeah.
I think that's where like apps like Go Hunt helps, where you can have an idea of like
Yeah.
how many tags are issued. And Co Parks and Wildlife gives some of
Yeah,
that
they do.
information as well
They're pretty
of
good.
like how many tags were drawn. I think like if you're gonna go for a unit with a lot of tags available, odds are you're gonna get it either way.
Right, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Your first draw.
Yeah, no, but odds are if we're gonna put in for a limited tag, we're gonna put in for something that's
Limited draw.
yeah, limited draw only.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think it avoids some headaches, but
It avoids some, but honestly, man, if I'm that guy, like the old system, if I'm like dedicated, I'm the first one there.
Yeah.
It's not fair to me because
Yeah.
I'm putting my work in to be the first one there, and then now it's just like, well, everybody just draws, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
You just get
I
put to the
think-
same
yeah.
pools. Everybody
There's some
else.
pros and cons in
Yeah.
both. Like, I kind of like the old style because, like Cher was saying, I'm old school.
Yep. First
I was-
time. Yep.
I was brought up that way where you go wait in line for a leftover tag.
Yeah.
So I'm so used to doing it that way. I think, I like it that way better.
yeah. I think that their biggest thing was they just hated the system crashing, and then everyone complaining about it.
Yeah.
And
So
so
I think
Well,
they're
the thing with
catering
last year
toward
was
the
perfect.
majority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean there are some crashes. I read on forums that there are some crashes or the system paused and everyone kind of
It's
freaked
usually during
out.
the checkouts.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always going to be there because it's all funneling to one system. And so, when you have thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people funneling to one system, it's bound to happen.
Server can't handle it.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I think it's a solution. We'll see how it works. Again, the processing fee, that's $7. People are complaining that it's now $14. But,
Non-residents, $9.
Yeah.
That's gonna be $18 for first and
That's
second
just
draw.
to get in the draw.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
including
yeah,
the
that's not
machine
including
license
that.
and stuff you have to
Yeah.
buy too.
Still
gotta
to
get
be
your
able to
habitat.
do
But
that.
I mean, in
Yeah.
all realistically, like $7. That's it's
It's-
not too bad. That's not
It's,
too bad.
fine.
McDonald's.
It's a processing fee, so
Right.
it pays for their staff to process all your
Application,
right.
information.
Yeah.
So
And it's going to something good either way.
yeah, I mean, Car Parks and Wildlife, they're doing their best to try to sort this mess out.
Right.
They're even though there's fewer and fewer hunters worldwide, Colorado has had a major influx of hunters the last few years. So this is the best way to process this. When you're giving out 300,000 tags a year,
Yeah.
this is
And there's
probably
still tons of leftover over the counter.
over the counter tags. Yep.
So,
I mean,
So here's a question.
yeah.
So with that fee, if does the brochure say anything about if you're just buying over the counter? Let's say you make it all the way to August, is that still a $7 fee there, or is that just
Nope.
paying for the tag?
Once it's August, you pay for the tag.
Okay.
So there's no application fees, nothing like that. So if you just want to do preference points for primary and not do anything as secondary and just hope that your tag flows into August, you're just paying for the tag. You're not paying for any processing fee.
So okay, just so realistically, you could just buy a preference point for $7.
Yep.
And then wait all the way.
Again, you still have to pay for your habitat stamp.
Right.
Yeah.
You still have to your small game. Your small game tag.
Game tag.
Search and rescue. If you want to include fishing license, you don't have to get fishing license, but you do have to get a small game tag, which a lot of non-residents were not happy with that. But a lot of states do that. Colorado just now implemented it last year, so it is what it is. I mean, we hunt small game, so it's not a big deal to us.
Right.
To non-residents, a lot of them are upset, but Utah does the same thing. Wyoming does the same thing. Montana. So Colorado's just kind of catching up, and so I think we've been blessed for a long time, and now people are just, reacting to the change.
Right. And I think Wyoming does this second draw thing too, there's probably some other states that does this second round draw.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a system that seems to make sense. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. This time next year we might say, "Oh, this thing's terrible," but I think for now, I think it's a good concept. I don't have to get up at 4 a.m. to go to Walmart anymore, so I'll count that as a win for now.
I think your problem was going to Walmart.
Yeah, going to Walmart. Yeah, I mean, it's better than sitting outside in the cold at Bass Pro or Cabela's. Or, at least Walmart was open, so I can go buy something to eat.
You can eat this stuff inside.
Yeah, pay for it first.
I guess that's true.
Any other thoughts on leftover tags?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think we'll find out toward August, right before archery season, how things went.
Yeah.
The process just changed, and there's always gonna be kinks, and they're gonna have to work some stuff out. But I think pretty much we'll all find out towards September.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this doesn't really affect muzzle loading too much, right? Because muzzle loaders,
I
always kind of had a draw.
Yeah, muzzle is always limited.
It's always been
very
drawn,
rare
right?
to get over the counter muzzle.
Yes and no, because it doesn't affect them because they've always had to draw. But now, there's a second opportunity if you don't draw the first time. So it could affect you, and it could affect that, like Chur was saying, the guys that got up early and went to the store for those muzzleloader tags. But now they're just kind of put into a pool to try to get their muzzle loading tags, and who knows how many other, thousands of people are gonna put in for that. So it's kind of interesting, and odds are it's probably gonna put in more people to put in for these tags.
Yeah.
Or before, people are like, I'm not going to go Walmart at 4 a.m. I know my tag's going to be sold out at 9. I'm not going to go online. I'm not going to bother crashing my computer. Now people are probably like, okay, we'll give it a chance. So
Right.
No, but think about it too. Think about it. So say if I draw my first and I get it, most of the time I'm the lazy guy where I don't want to go and buy over the counter, right? Because they're saying that I still could draw for the secondary. So what happens to those guys who they draw the first and they didn't get it, right? And then they're like, okay, my next chance is to go to over counter. But because of this draw, they have to put them in a random draw again, right? For same thing with me, right? If I get my first one, I might as well just add in the $7 draw again. Maybe I get another tag. So what happens if I get 2 tags and then the guy he didn't get 1 tag at all, right? And he didn't get nothing over the counter. So now if you look at it, it's it's so random that some people might get 2. Some people might not get nothing.
But then,
if you draw an A tag,
right,
you're not going to draw another A tag.
Yeah,
so you're not going to get 2 bull tags.
Yeah, but that's true.
Yeah, because you only get list A.
So let's say that you did 66, right? You applied for 66 bull tag. You get the 66 bull tag. You can't put in the secondary draw for another Class A tag and get another Class A tag.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, no.
Yeah.
Odds are...
Well, that's in general for either sex tags.
Yeah.
So either sex tags or A tags.
Or you can't
get 2 either sex tags. You can get either
Yeah,
sex
you can't put a 66 bull tag or either sex tag and then go to 12 and then get a 12 bull tag.
Yeah.
layer 2. You're still limited to
Yeah.
one egg tag.
Right.
So if you draw the first time, odds are you're not gonna try for a second unless you go for mule deer or a cow specific. Yeah.
Unless for some reason you draw for B tags.
Yeah, unless you try for a B tag.
B tag first choice.
Yeah.
B tag secondary.
Yeah. So so it's not like someone's gonna walk away with 2 bull tags.
Yeah, and I think the positive thing is like if you don't get your first 4 choices during your first draw, this second draw. It just makes it for one, it makes it an equal playing field, but at the same time, the disadvantages is for the go-getters
Yeah.
who want to wait first in line, and it's kind of a disadvantage to them because then the lazy guys.
Yeah,
Has
has
to-
just-
He has equal chance,
Equal chance,
all the
yeah.
way up until July
Yeah.
7th.
Yeah.
He could put in the morning,
Yeah.
and then he could fight with Kumo for the same tag.
Yeah.
But Kumo was like, "Well, I could have got that tag because I was
Yeah.
First in
line."
line on
But-
June.
I guess it's that fighting. I guess what am I trying to say? Like the opportunity to fight over those tags. It's worth it when there's like, let's say there's 50 leftover tags.
Yeah.
When there's one, it's super one or
Yeah.
two. It's super hard. Like who knows who's gonna get even 10 guys in the front of the line at 10 different places trying to fight for 5 tags. That's gonna be up to how fast the
Yep.
system processes it.
Yep.
But now. But
Everybody's
with
kinda
50, it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like if you had 50 when you were all battling, when there's 10 guys battling for 50 tags, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, well, actually, last year I was trying to get a rifle tag with Kumo Yang, and there were like 50 of them
Yeah.
left. And then I got to the store, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna sell all 50." And again, I was there at like 4 in the morning,
Right.
and I was in line by like 9:15. I was at the cashier by 9:15,
Yeah.
and all 50 tags are gone.
Yeah. So that the draw is open at 9.
Yeah,
Exactly. No.
Yeah.
Or I guess over the counter was open at 9.
Yep. And I still didn't get the tag.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It
it
was
is
only
what it-
15 minutes into
yeah,
it.
15 minutes into it, like no joke. Like those cashiers were pros. Now those cashiers don't have to learn anything. So
Yeah,
Good-
like
good
I
for the
said,
cashier.
there's ups and downs too. I'm hoping if I don't get my moose, I get my secondary moose. Come on, second. Let's do this. I'm like, for everybody, you know how my moose tag? I'm still like a couple years away from this, so I know I ain't gonna get that. But hey, if they have a secondary draw and everybody starts at the same point, I might actually get secondary.
Yeah.
But I think
that's
Moose is just going to be like Unit 201 and Unit 1.
Yeah.
Just move down
Yeah.
to this person.
And I mean, speaking of moose, we can transition real quick to another rule change. Quickly is with moose now. So before, if you drew for an archery tag, once archery season is over, it's over. And so they just made a change. It says that you can hunt bull or either sex moose during archery, muzzle, and/or rifle season with the correct method of take in certain units until you fill your license.
So you can change your weapons with the
So it
with
carries
the
over
season.
now.
So it carries over. So there's not a time until it closes. So if you're only doing muzzle, it's not a week long only. Your tag
You
carries
go
over.
from muzzle back
until you get
into
your moose.
archery and then
So,
into rifle.
If Chur gets one for muzzle moose and he doesn't kill one, he can now hunt rifle for a moose at that same unit. First
That's
season,
pretty nice.
second,
Yeah.
third,
Gives you more
fourth. So
opportunity.
it basically guarantees it because
Yeah.
if you're putting in for like 15, 20 years, you want as many opportunities to kill.
Sometimes a week is not long enough.
So
Yeah.
I see a thing happening with this though. I think everybody's gonna put in for archery though.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it was
Because
a
that gives you
sense.
the longest time to
Yeah.
hunt because
Yeah.
you can hunt archery
And then
and then switch to muzzle during muzzle,
Yeah,
switch
and then-
back to archery for a little
and
bit,
then go to rifle.
switch
Yeah.
to rifle
Yeah.
when it's rifle
Yeah.
time.
But it just depends on the dedication of
Yeah.
how much you want to
Right.
put effort into it. Some people don't want to do archery; they just
Yeah.
But I guess the positive thing too is now, with more time, guys could be a lot more picky. They
Yeah.
can pass up more
You
goals,
can pass
right?
up it, yeah.
Pass up on the
Because you're like,
spot.
oh man, it's not the last day. You're like
Yeah.
technically
Still
have
have
3 months.
Just,
Yeah.
just don't be the guy that keeps skipping and passing and passing, and then you're
just stuck with nothing.
you're stuck with nothing at
Even
the
though
end.
you had all that time.
But it does say certain units.
Right.
They don't specify what unit, or at least I didn't look in the brochure at what units this covers. But I thought it was a neat idea. I know Wyoming does the same thing with elk. That if you get archery tag and you don't fill that archery tag, you come back for rifle. So I think it's a neat idea for the moose, and I wish they do it for elk, but there's just so many elk hunters in Colorado. It's a different dynamic than Wyoming has.
But if you think about that too, though, you're putting a lot more pressure, right? Because if you think about it, more and more hunters, if I don't fill my archery tag for moose, and then I'm hunting during muzzle season too with the muzzle guys, and then we all go in hunt with the rifle guys, you're just adding more and more hunters on top of what is already there, trying to harvest the same amount. There's not gonna be more moose. There's gonna be more and more hunters. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they're still gonna do limited draw though.
Mm-hmm.
There's only gonna be so many licenses available. I don't think they're gonna increase the number of.
Do you guys think they're doing this for moose because they're seeing a big increase in moose? Because we as hunters, we're starting to see a lot more moose than we have been 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Not me.
Okay, sure, I haven't seen it, but I would agree with that. Like, we have seen more moose, and I think like a lot of hunters that put in for like 15 years. It sucks if you go a week and you don't see any moose, even if you scouted. So,
yeah, but if you think about it, that's what hunting is, though.
Yeah, it's
hunting is not guaranteed.
It's definitely not guaranteed.
You know, if they give me a week and I go and I bust my butt off for a week, I don't get it. Like at the end of the day, hey man, I tried. Right, I put the work in. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But if you just give me 2-3 months, I just keep going and going and going. Now I'm like, eventually, like you know, for me, it kind of takes the fun out of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
it works in both ways because like the working class, like us, we can't take off work every you know, 2 weeks.
Can't take a whole week off.
We're weekend warriors.
Yeah.
We're not the.
Hey man, eventually I'm just gonna pay someone tied to a tree.
Okay.
Just tie my moose to a tree.
Those are called ranch hunters.
Yeah.
We're public.
Yeah.
Those are called high fence.
All right, let's transition to another change that affects all archery hunters. So, over-the-counter archery elk, they've eliminated a bunch of units. So, units 44, 45, 47, 444, 70, 71, 72, 73, 711, 74, 741, 75, 751, 77, 78, and 771 have all been removed from over-the-counter.
Dang, those are all the units I hunt.
Yeah.
That's a big population.
Yeah. And so now those are all limited archery hunts. Now again, this is just archery season, so rifle hasn't changed. Yeah. But only for archery, this has changed.
So muzzle hasn't changed.
So those used to all be part of your general
over-the-counter.
Over-the-counter.
So I can go to Walmart, any, Bass Pro, Cabela's, Shields, pick up an over-the-counter tag, and I could go to any of those units and hunt it. But now it's a limited draw, so I have to draw for those tags in order to hunt those units. And so a big reason why this happened was Car Parks and Wildlife have noticed a major decline in population in southwest Colorado. And they're not sure why. They've done all their research, but they're finding that it's not the hunters are killing more elk. It's not that disease is causing a major death. And so they're trying to do their research to figure out why. And they're finding that young elk are not maturing fast enough and are dying during the winter. And so a theory is that muzzle loading season has pushed the elk later and later and later. And so by the time these females get pregnant, have their babies, the babies are born not in early spring, but late spring, early summer. And then they're just not surviving, getting big enough by winter to survive. Yeah. And so they feel like there's a lot of pressure. And so they're trying to cut back on some of that pressure. But they're still doing research. The problem is they've given them collars that can grow with the elk. But the elk are kind of squeezing out of those collars, and then they're dropping the collars everywhere. So Car Parks and Wildlife is trying to do research on these young, elk, but they're having a hard time doing it. So they're trying to figure out a solution. And so they talked about it. They met multiple times, public meeting hearings multiple times, and they just decided we're going to get rid of these units as over-the-counters, and now there's limited draws. So even if you don't hunt these units, the problem is now everyone that used to hunt those units are gonna fight and come up to the over-the-counter units up in northwest Colorado and central western Colorado.
So I guess the benefit is, right, the way it used to work was you could take one of these tags, our general archery tags, and you can, let's say you get in the field and it's not what you think it was, or something changed from your pre-scout to when you're actually hunting.
Yep.
You could change units and say you're hunting north side of Colorado. You used to be able to go hunt south side of Colorado because they're all part of this over-the-counter tag. Yep. But now the bottom, the southern half has been cut off, and now you can only hunt the north side. So I mean, I guess the thing is I could see it changing because even last year ran to a couple guys the unit that we hunt on the trail, and one guy was like, yeah, well, I'm going back down south because it's not what I thought it was going to be the last couple weekends, and so those guys wouldn't be able to do it. But at the same time, right, it could, like, guys who hunt, let's say, I don't know, 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah.
Who normally hunts that every year, instead of buying over the counter, that person is just going to have to apply for that unit then next year.
Yep. So
this year,
they're going to put a little bit less pressure on those units.
Yeah.
So are those units like preference point unit, or is this just like draw?
It's probably just draw only tags now.
I'm not sure.
Some of those units are preference point unit, like high preference point unit, but like the ones that used to be over the counter.
Yeah, I don't know how many points for each unit. I think that's depending on their survey that they do. It's hard to say. I mean, right now they just said limited draw, so you might be able to go on 0 preference points and still draw it.
I think it depends on how many tags they put out.
How many tags you put out for that.
For whatever unit is.
Whatever unit you're applying for.
Yep. So
did they release that information yet?
I don't think they have yet.
Okay. So if they haven't done that, then like Go Hunt wouldn't really know yet.
Yeah, right? Go Hunt wouldn't know that because Go Hunt draws information from previous years, but
that's new this year.
This is all new this year. So,
because I guess like if you knew they're gonna put out,
150 tags.
150 tags, then I think that's the more points you have is gonna be better. But if it's like 5,000 bull tags. Then it's kind of like, they're going to give it to anybody.
Yeah, they're going to give it to anybody that draws for it.
Right.
And so, I think this is just a way of them filtering and funneling. My issue is if you're not hunting southern Colorado and you're hunting either central or northern Colorado, pressure's already high. Now pressure's going to be double, if not triple, during archery season.
Especially the muzzle season.
Yeah, especially during that muzzle season.
Doesn't Randy Newberg hunt some of these units?
Probably.
So what we're saying
is
is
southern Colorado.
it's time to start hunting outside Colorado.
Yeah.
But I also think this opens up people to. I think we're all hunters and we love our units, right? And we're comfortable with our units. We know our mountain, and then I think sometimes we're just so comfortable we don't want to branch out and try new units. I think this will push some hunters to. Hey, let's go somewhere else. Let's look at new places, and it gets them to see new areas. And so I see the good side about that. But I think, like you guys said, it's just gonna put so much pressure on those units already. If there's already so many hunters.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna be calling in a lot more hunters this year than ever.
But like Joe was saying, there's pros and cons and everything. Like hopefully, it will bring back more elk population in the south.
In a few years.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they figure it out. The problem is, like, they just don't really know what's causing, like, the decline. They just know.
It's lightning strikes.
Lightning strikes do kill a lot of elk every year. And falling through ice.
Yeah, falling trees.
Yeah, falling trees.
Wind-blown trees.
There's so many variables that it's hard to figure out. They're just realizing that, like, they're just a major decline the last few years. So this is their solution. Again, there's pros and cons. I think you're going to become buddies with a lot more hunters with this happening here.
Yeah, I think it's going to tie, like you guys said, I think it's going to tie guys to their unit only.
Yeah.
Or it's going to push more hunters up north.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of hunters that run into, like, that jump units.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they'll have backup plans. And their backup plans are in the neighboring unit.
Yeah.
Right? Same mountain range, but the neighboring unit. It just happens to land on the neighboring unit. But with that, they're going to be tied to this. Like for us, where we hunt, we could come in from the other side of the mountain range, but it's in a different unit, or rather than the side where nobody come in.
Yeah, definitely. And my curiosity is why specifically just archery and not rifle.
Right. Or muzzle.
Or muzzle. Yeah, muzzle hunters.
Just
yeah.
Muzzle hunters. All those guys that run this.
Yeah.
Muzzle hunters.
Right. And I understand that they're worried about the rut, I'm surprised that they didn't eliminate these units for rifle as well.
But I think it's because if you think about it, archery has more time, right? So their time frame is way long. Muzzle don't have 1 week, 7 days.
Yeah.
And if
Muzzle
you miss-
loaders make the most noise in the
Yeah,
woods.
but if you miss those 7 days, you're done, right? But archery, you go for 3-4 weeks. So you have
You get
more
more
and more
chances to
chances
chase
to
around,
be out there
chase
with
around.
the elk around.
I still think muzzleloaders care.
That's
Alex
I
a
agree
lot.
too.
More than
I agree.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
just
just
7 days.
more
Yeah,
expensive.
oh,
weekends.
Yeah, Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah, muzzleloaders.
We don't hate muzzleloaders. we just wish that muzzleloader
Was it in
started.
between?
Yeah,
archery?
was it in archery and started after archery?
Yeah,
Like all the other states, you know,
I'm
it starts
okay
here
with it.
before or
I'm
after.
muzzle hunting.
yeah, that's true. The
It's not
muzzleloader.
during peak rut when you're trying to find elk.
Yeah, so and then they made minor changes to other units. Unit 83, second and third rifle seasons are now limited draw tags. That over the counter. Unit 214 now has a new first rifle season bull elk tag. Unit 591 is now now has antler point restrictions. Some units don't. Yeah, but
That's good.
591 now has antler point restrictions.
It now has it.
Yeah, now has
it. It didn't.
It didn't before.
So before you shoot
you could
spikes?
shoot a. Yeah, I don't know.
A male is a male, female is a female.
Yeah.
And then it feels like social.
It's just
The
like
Irish
shooting,
unit,
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
You could shoot.
Oh, you can shoot spikes in your unit?
A male is a male, female is a female. So as long as, like for bucks, as long as if it's under the ear, that's considered female.
Oh, what about for elks?
Yeah, same bulls.
Oh,
Yeah, for
So
bulls,
bulls, if the horns under the air is considered.
yeah, a cow, and if it's
Oh,
over the ear,
okay.
it's considered bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some new changes. Hunting season this year, archery starts on September 2nd and ends on the 30th.
That's a.
That's a Wednesday, I
Yeah,
believe,
Wednesday.
is when the season
So
starts.
that's weird. I don't like
So
that.
we actually lose a week. as
We-
far as-
yeah,
You
Yeah.
guys use a weekend.
That's what I'm saying.
It
Well,
started
last year I think it started August and ended before
Yeah,
the
Second to last.
second to last weekend. So yeah, I don't know if we lose.
We lose a
yeah,
week.
you guys use a weekend.
Oh yeah, we get,
Technically,
yeah, we
We
do lose.
technically we get 2 weekends before muzzle. This
Yeah.
year we get 1
You guys get
Okay, yeah.
See, I don't like that change. Remember, it was for same thing for duck.
Oh yeah,
It started on like Monday.
yeah.
Why is this on
Yeah.
Monday?
That's true. It is on Thursday.
Oh,
Next season started on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
So,
Yes,
are they switching it? You know, how, like dove hunting is always the 1st of September, no matter what day. it
Yeah,
is?
that's always been for September.
I think
Doesn't
that's still
matter
gonna
what
remain the same.
I know, but then it's just similar to that, which
Yeah,
is gonna be.
I think the goal is to keep archery season the same.
amount days.
Yeah, year round. So I think if they're gonna do September 2nd to the 30th, I think they're gonna do that for like
Next year.
10 years until they do a policy change. Yeah.
Well, I kind of like that because now I can go dove hunting and then go archery.
On
You
September
only get
1st.
Yeah, you get 1 day.
Yeah.
It's okay. The opening day.
You only hunt opening
Because,
day.
The last couple years, ever since I started picking up archery, I stopped going dove hunting.
You won't go again this year, don't lie.
I'm sending my dog off to boarding school. So
Are you?
yeah, I'm gonna send her off to boarding school. Good professional training.
How much is that?
A lot.
Yeah.
What is that in Colorado? Yeah, it's in Colorado. From the fruit line.
All this with doves.
Well, more than doves, whales, like
That's
pheasants.
it.
Dude,
Wait, just wait until you can't find your dove. You can be like, hey, you bring your
Hey,
dog over and help me find a dove.
I'm not gonna worry. Yeah.
You get your blood chasing
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not a big dove hunter. And then muzzleloader is September 12th to the 20th. First rifle is October 10th to the 14th. Second rifle is October 24th to the November 1st. And then there's a 6-day gap. And the third rifle is November 7th to 13th. Fourth rifle is November 18th to the 22nd. So there's a lot more gaps and breaks between the seasons now. So between archery and rifle is 10 days. And then between first rifle and second rifle is 10 days. And then between second rifle and third rifle is 6 days. And then between third rifle and fourth rifle is 5 days. So there's more gaps between the seasons.
Right.
So it's
not
giving,
just your regular 3 days.
yeah.
Usually it'll close out Wednesday and open Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday.
So now they're giving more breaks for the elk to kind of settle.
Relax.
Which is
Back to routine.
good and bad. I think like when the elk are nervous, it helps keep them nervous. So they're not
Aware.
getting aware
Hunters
aware
around
hunters,
them.
yeah. So it's good and it's bad. But those that are hunting fourth rifle, they're definitely gonna run into a lot of snow. Third rifle outside, they're gonna run into a lot of snow this year too. Everything's kind of moved back, and there's a lot more gap. So those are the seasons. Deer, there's some changes for deer. Some units are mandatory chronic waste disease testing. It says all deer harvested during any rifle season from selected GMUs are mandatory chronic waste disease testing. So they've highlighted a bunch of units, and if those units are mandatory tests, doesn't matter what season you shot it in, you have to get it tested.
That was the same as last year.
Yeah,
Same as
that's
last year,
right.
Yeah, they said it's new to the booklet, so
I think they're adding.
Maybe they added.
Yeah, they just
I
add more
think they
units.
might
But last year was the same thing.
And again, the description will have our brochure, so you guys can go through the brochure, go through the units, and look at the. Find
Is
out
sorry. Last year you have to keep your animal in state. So like let's say you hunted on a unit close to the border, but then the easiest way was to actually go out of state and then come back into the state.
Yeah.
Is that still the same thing?
yeah, it's still the same thing. So you can't bring the head,
brain.
the
Brain
brain,
matter.
the brain matter outside of the state borders.
Just brain
So you
matter
have to
or
clean
the whole
just
head?
the brain matter.
Oh,
So you can clean the skull and the brain and then take it across the border.
Yeah.
But you have to boil it, clean out the brain.
you gotta
Yeah.
boil it.
Yeah,
Oh,
boil
okay.
it. Clean
So the
out
process of
yeah.
it, you're better off just going straight through Colorado, rather than going through New Mexico or Wyoming or Utah, wherever you're at.
By the time you get done boiling, you'll be
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the boiling that
Taking
you
them
still have to take it and get tested first.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't just boil it.
I mean, if you're
I
mandatory
forgot to
test-
take it in and get
Yeah.
tested.
I guess that's right because now it's mandatory. Like
Yeah,
shoot a
yeah,
bunch.
yeah.
Yep. So
Is it just for bucks? I mean, all deers.
No,
I think all deer for these units.
I think those are what the zombie deers that they're considered.
Yeah, the chronic waste disease. Yeah. Also, they really want us to shoot bears this year because
Hey, I'm filling up for bears.
yeah, because
I saw mine last year.
so when you go through like the preference point units, they have the bear paw next to the over the counter next to the unit saying, "Hey, we have bear tags available for this unit," and so they're making it very clear that hey, we have bear tags available. So as you go through the brochure, you're gonna see this bear paw on the units. They're
On the map?
basically not on the map, on the
units,
on
where,
the
where
units.
you see the elk units,
Yeah.
deer units.
Like where the
Oh, where
draw
the
numbers.
code.
Yeah.
the code, yeah.
Codes, yeah.
Yep. So as you go through the code, you'll see like the bear
Oh,
claws
yeah. I see
on
it.
there.
So it doesn't matter if you're looking at deer,
Yeah.
elk, antelope.
Oh,
And so
so
they're
that's just
basically-
saying there's a lot of beers.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of bear tags. Apply for bear tags.
And bears are
Which
a
is
whole
nice,
month
'cause-
long too.
Yeah. So I think they really want us to shoot bears.
And it's rifle.
If they really wanted us to shoot bears, they would let us bait.
Well, that's another debate for another day.
Like
I mean,
purposefully
yeah,
bait.
yeah, yeah.
Because I guess you could shoot one if it was already eating a dead carcass and you just came up upon it. But if you set the carcass,
Yeah, if you set the carcass there, you're in trouble. So you can't gut your elk and then sit
Hunt
on your
that
gut pile.
carcass.
That's illegal. But if you happen to come on someone that gutted the elk,
So if you shot an elk and gutted it, and I came upon your gut pile,
as long as you're not sitting on my gut pile, right? So
Hey, but you guys are in the same groove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
that's
sleeps in a different tent.
yeah, drive a different car.
Yeah.
Came a different day.
Yeah.
This is gonna get edited out.
Come on. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just gonna look at this like,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, and any other major changes here? Minor change, valid dates for annual licenses and habitat stamps go from March 1st to March 31st instead of April 1st to March 31st.
Yeah,
So
I never
they
like
just-
that, man.
They just changed it one day.
I'm always
so-
like, hey, if I buy in June, it should be good till next June.
yeah,
It should
you
be
want
good
it to be
till-
calendar
Annually
year,
for
yeah,
you, yeah.
but
Oh wow.
yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a brief overview of some of the changes, our thoughts on the changes. So, any other thoughts, guys? Anything you like? Anything you don't like?
Well, you pretty much captured everything you like and don't like. Yeah, just let us know what you guys think.
We don't know the answers to all these questions either. We're just
Yeah, this is just our initial impression.
impressions of what,
Yeah, of this.
of what we thought after we looked at the brochure online.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, and I'm gonna apply obviously for my first 4 preferences for the big games that I hunt, and if I don't get any, I'm definitely gonna put in for a second round.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really
Gives you
want to
the
save
option.
$7. I mean, but yeah.
Yes. Especially, I think the biggest changes, especially the way I've drawn is last couple of years I've been doing preference point, but I've been using my Class A tag for my over the archery or over the counter
Yeah.
a bull tag or either sex.
Yeah.
And so
It does change how you have to start getting out tags this year.
Yeah.
Your strategy just
your
changes.
strategy for
Yeah.
planning this definitely changes.
So if you want a different Class A tag, you're gonna have to figure out which one you want more. Whether you want the archery tag or if you want your rifle tag, Class A full. So you just gotta.
I think for the majority of us, we like archery, so either way,
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same.
elk is gonna be the same.
For other
us.
people who like rifle more over archery, they would rather get a bull tag for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting with deer because deer there is no over counter, there's no limited draws.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting for deer. I mean, like people draw for deer tags.
Unless you've been away from the leftover, which is gonna be in August, which is
Yeah.
a long time. So.
Yeah. I mean, either way, good luck on the draw. We good?
Yep.
We good?
All right. With that being said, please like, subscribe, and share. If you guys like this content, be sure to tell us in the comments below so we can keep making stuff like this. And again, we appreciate all of you guys. Stay tuned to Public Access YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll have a lot more content coming up. As the snow kind of melts, the ice kind of melts, weather gets consistent. We'll get more fishing stuff, archery stuff, scouting, you name it, we'll do it. We'll show you how to enjoy and take advantage of your public lands. With that being said, you guys have a great one.